All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing an oil change to the 2016 Fusion. Again, ignore the garage. Sorry, I'm trying to put life back together. But actually, I'm going to do a couple things today. One, the most important thing's an oil change. I don't know the last time it's been done. It doesn't look super dark, but I like to keep my vehicles maintained, and especially something this new. I need to attach a license plate to the front of this, and we are going to be running an ozone machine in this. I've already done it once, and it has taken majority of the smoke smell out, but I'm not a smoker and I don't like the smell of it. So I will post a link to the ozone machine that we got. You can get them off Amazon. I believe it was like $50. Highly recommend them. Once you use them, pretty much you open the windows and the doors, let it air out, and it's supposed to, on a chemical level, get rid of odors. So I've already scrubbed the inside of this car. It needs it done again, the seats specifically, but I'm just trying to get my smell into the car. So let me start off by saying this is the 2.5 liter. It does take 5W20. According to online, it is synthetic blend. So this is what we got. I was going to get Motorcraft, but they didn't have any at the store. I usually get oil from Walmart because, at least in my area, that seems to be the best deal. This motor takes 5.7 quarts, and this is the oil filter number for it. That is a Motorcraft. So there is our ozone machine. Like I said, I will post a link to this. From what I've read, pretty much you're supposed to do in a car like 7 minutes. So if you look at the side there, you can kind of see I pretty much go to the 10-minute mark and go from there. But while I'm changing the oil, I'm going to go ahead and let that thing run inside of the car. And let me get underneath and I'll show you what tools you need. And I believe these cars are probably going to have a splash shield, so I'm not sure what it's going to take to get that off, but once I figure it out, I will show you. So underneath the car, I was right, you are going to have a skid plate. I believe there's like 10 millimeter bolts. I'm actually missing a couple, so sorry about the poor lighting condition. Let me go ahead and start working on these so I can take the shield off and I'll show you where they all are. And then I believe, if I remember correctly, the oil filter is located on the front of this motor, and then I'll show you where the drain plug is. All right, so it was a 15 millimeter for the drain plug. It's not super dirty, but I found out the reason why it was leaking. It was barely tight. I barely had to touch the ratchet, and it unloosened. So I'm gonna finish draining this and clean up the oil pan, and I will keep an eye on this. So looks like there's also a rubber washer that goes on this, so I am definitely gonna keep an eye on this. I'm gonna try to reset this per se. See if I can get that rubber gasket. I don't know if it goes in the head of the, I'm sorry, it's really bad to see. I don't know if it goes in the head of the bolt, but I'm gonna try to, let me move this back. I'm gonna try to reset that gasket and see if that fixes it. If nothing else, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I always do that with new vehicles, keep an eye on the oil level. I don't know if they use, leak, whatever. So let me finish draining this, and I'll get the oil pan cleaned up. So while we were waiting for the oil to change, or finish draining, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the ozone machine out of this. And with Ford, you can either enable it through FORScan or other stuff like that, or this car you're actually enabled to enable it through the gauge cluster. But it's called Global Windows. It's where if you hit the unlock button and then hit it again and hold it, it will roll all the windows down. So while I'm finishing up with the oil change, we'll take care of the ozone machine in there because it has a weird smell when it's done running. I guess it's better than smoke, but you'll definitely want to let it air out. So while I'm finishing this up, it can air out. Also, another good Amazon find, these black latex gloves. They were real cheap for a whole box of them. I think there was like 90 or 100 in there. I will also post that at the end of this link. These gloves are obviously disposable. They're one-time use, but awesome for keeping your hands clean. I don't mind cleaning up my arm, but cleaning in your fingernails and all that is terrible to do. So it's pretty much just dripping now. This is what I was talking about resetting it. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to center that over the rubber washer. I don't know if they make any rubber washer for these or not. That is something I'm going to have to look into. I don't even know if this one's necessarily bad, but if they do, I wouldn't mind replacing it anyway. So go ahead and put that bolt back in, and then I'm going to show you another set of cool tools that I got off of Amazon. Big fan of these things. So let me tighten this up. I'm going to clean the oil pan up, and then we'll loosen the oil filter. So I will also post a link for these on Amazon as well. These are oil filter cups. You get multiple sizes. I just grabbed a couple. I think the pack I had had 6 of them in there. But basically, it goes just like this on the bottom, and then you loosen your ratchet. I don't know if I can do this with one hand or not. No, I can't. So basically, you'll need 2 hands for this. This filter is kind of tight, but that's what it does. It grabs a hold of the ridges at the bottom and it loosens it. You don't need an oil filter wrench. So I like these a whole lot better than an oil filter wrench, but I went ahead and cleaned the pan up. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to make sure that it's not actively leaking anywhere. So let me get this off and change it. When you put the new one on, make sure that there's no plastic on the top. Put a little bit of oil on the O-ring and clean everything up. And then it's time to put the shield back. Okay, so once the oil filter's all been tight, I just tighten the oil filter by hand. You don't have to go crazy. Just hand tight is more than enough. Same thing with the drain plug. Like, it needs to be tight enough to where it's not leaking, but not tight enough to strip or loose enough to leak. So there's the oil that came out of it. And that filter is a Service Champ, whatever that is. I went ahead and already have poured 1 quart into this. I'm going to go ahead and start it up and let it run for a little bit. And not 1 quart, 1 gallon so far. And I'm going to let it let all the oil drain back down into the pan, and then we're going to check it. Like I said, I think the owner's manual calls for 5.7 quarts, and I've only put 1 gallon in. So let me check it, and then I'll show you how to reset the light on these for the service for the oil. Okay, so that is just with 1 gallon. It's barely on the minimum. So I'm gonna go ahead and put almost a whole nother quart in, and then we'll go from there. So pretty much this part you guys don't need to watch. I mean, hopefully you can figure out how to, at least get it on the full mark. So after this, I'll show you how to reset the oil light in this. I'm gonna go off of every 5,000 miles for this. It's not full synthetic, so 5,000 is probably more than enough. And I don't know, it's good insurance. Oil's cheap. So let me get this filled up, and then I will reset this. So last part of the oil change.
Sync has connected your phone and
turn that off. I gotta check. I don't know if I have a low tire pressure or low tire, or the TPMS is bad. Either way, you go over on your steering wheel, at least with this kind of cluster. Go there, go down to settings, go to vehicle, and then do oil life reset. Apparently this said 95%, but I'm gonna go ahead and reset this anyway. Like I said, we're gonna do it on my own mileage. So there you go. So that's pretty much the end of this video. Thanks again for watching. If you guys have any comments or any way to do anything easier, go ahead and message below. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.